According to Aristotle, in his famous treatise, the Nicomachean Ethics, one swallow does not make a summer, neither does one fine day. Similarly, one day or brief time of happiness does not make a person entirely happy. Hi, I'm Elisa Hayes, and this is Letters to My Daughter, a weekly podcast devoted to women mentoring women. I'm honored and delighted to dedicate these letters to daughters of all ages everywhere. So let's get right to it. I started out by quoting Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics, which may make no sense to most people. I wrote my final culminating paper for my Bachelor of Arts degree in philosophy on Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics. Graduation is on my mind right now. Last week, we celebrated my daughter's graduation, and if you listened to last week's episode of this podcast, then you would have heard me talk about her graduation and my thoughts, my word advice for graduates. So, on the heels of all of our grand celebrating, I have some thoughts running through my mind. The first of them is that I am exhausted. Oh my gosh. We had big graduation celebrations for her graduating with her AA degree from college and then graduating with her high school diploma and turning 18 years old and entering life as an adult. All of this happened at the same time. We had a big party at my house, a lot of family, lots of excitement and enthusiasm. And then the very next day was Father's Day. And I think we spent it taking a nap collectively. And then we went to a movie that had recliners where we did some more napping. My daughter had all kinds of plans. She super excited, graduated from high school, turned 18. She's ready to jump out into the world and be busy. And our conversation today, just a couple days later, was that she is exhausted. So we're talking about rest, balance, that you can't put the pedal to the metal and go nonstop and not plan to rest. The primary theme of Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics is essentially, in super simplistic terms, because it's actually a very long tome, the basic idea is morality of the mean. In other words, balance, moderate, keeping to the middle, and that the extremes are where you find unhappiness, the highest goal of any human being. So says Aristotle, so says Buddhists, so says many philosophers, and really, frankly, our founding fathers in the United States, that the highest goal of anyone is the right to pursue happiness. That's what we want, right? Well, sometimes what we need in order to be happy is to chill out, calm down, be still, take a nap. Maybe you need a couple of days of taking a nap. You need to rest and be kind to your body. At the end of the school year, It's an incredibly busy time. There's a huge push of activity with final papers and prom and photos and time with family and friends and graduations and celebrations. Similarly, in the workforce, there are times, there are rhythms, times when things get insanely busy. And you have to balance that with rest and having that be okay, not pushing our bodies like they're machines because we're human. It's important to schedule, plan in time, look at the calendar, and when you can see the pattern, this is going to take a lot of energy, and then you plan for activities that don't take a lot of energy. I know this sounds super basic, but here's the thing. Aristotle's principles that he wrote about, and like I said, it's a multiple volume set, but really it comes down to some really simple principles of moderation, of balance, of not pushing yourself into the pendulum too far, one direction or the other. And don't we do that all the time? I used to joke, I say with air quotes, because I don't even know that it was a joke. I believed it to be true, that I was like a toddler. I had two speeds, full stop and full go. And I went full go for about 50 weeks out of the year. I generally took a couple of weeks off in December. But other than that, I was pretty much pedal to the metal, full go. And I missed out on a lot. And I made myself sick. And I made myself grumpy. And I didn't make myself happy doing it. It's important that we understand what are those things that take energy from us. Who are those people that take a lot of extra energy? Sometimes we refer to those as EGR people, otherwise known as extra grace required. It takes a lot of energy to interact with those people. I find, weirdly, this probably is odd, it takes me a lot of energy to write emails. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it takes a lot of thought and I want to be careful about my communication. And that takes a lot of energy. Well, I have to recognize that. Are those the kinds of things that cost you a lot of energy? What kinds of people cost you energy? Or what kinds of activities cost you a lot of energy? Every single one of us is only given the same 24 hours of every day, and every single one of us has a limited supply of energy. What you give your energy to, you're giving your life to. Are you giving your life to the pursuit of happiness? Now, that doesn't mean pursuing fun all the time. Not all things are fun. Sometimes what will make us happy is to be able to pay the bills. That will definitely make us happy. And sometimes what will make us happy is sitting outside on a beautiful summer evening, having conversation and maybe a glass of wine with a friend and enjoying the time. To everything there is a season. And this season, the summer season, might be the time to allow for a little slowing down and enjoying the sunshine, maybe sitting around a bonfire or making s'mores or going on a camping trip. But plan for it. Take time to create that balance if you are pushing really hard to get a project done. Take time to reward yourself with rest and recharge, however that looks for you. I encourage you to live life. Don't just push through it like you're a machine. I'm Elisa Hayes, and this has been Letters to My Daughter. I'm honored and delighted to have you invite me into your ears, your mind, and your heart. You can find out more about me, check out more past episodes of the podcast at elisahayes.com. I would be quite honored if you subscribed on iTunes, and if you find value here, leave a review. That would be cool. Thanks. Remember, take care and share the love. See you next week.